All right, so this is just to inform anybody that's wondering what's going on down here on Government Street. There's a big, beautiful live oak that unfortunately is going to have to come down. So we're going to show it to you what this tree looks like. I've been involved with this thing and we've been trying to save it, but all of our efforts, it's not going to be able to happen. And so I'll come around this other side and show you what's going on with it. I think everybody can understand what's going on there, but they're building an office complex here. I mean, really, that's an understatement. It's a Cindy Haber Center, which helps out mental, issues and I don't know how to put that, but people that have mostly mental retardation, things like that, and so it's going to be a really good thing for the community. But here's the deal. So you can see where the red is. That's where the building is going to be. They had to have a significant undercut in order to build the building there. There's a driveway that comes around the side of the building. Then there's this underground drainage that has to happen and come through. So there would be a 5-foot undercut right here, just a few feet away from the tree. And so, you can see where this blue line is painted on the ground right here. Some of it's kind of faded, but this blue line is showing, here it is right here, how close we are to the tree where that undercut has to be. When you do that, when you cut all of the roots off of this side of the tree, we can talk about health problems that would happen as a result of that. And you'd start seeing, tip dieback, you'd start seeing, a lot of pest problems, could be a number of things. But the bigger issue is risk. And so you cut roots off that close to the tree, not only are they critical roots, but these are what's known as the structural root plate. And so these are the buttress roots right here close to the tree. You cut that off all the way down and there's not going to be anything left to support and anchor that tree. And now we're at an increased risk of this thing failing into the road. There'll be a sidewalk right over here. So people walking down the sidewalk, people, walking by, driving by, and the risk is just too great of having this thing, if it does survive, then it's very likely to fail. And then, with people around this area, we don't want it to hit somebody or hit something. You've got communication lines here. You've got cable, you've got telephone, you've got internet, then there's power right here. So there's a whole lot going on in this area, and the risk is just too great to cut all the roots off of that tree. I can tell you some of the things that we have explored was changing the drainage system. I've been working with the contractor, the design team, the engineers. We looked at deleting the drainage that was in that area. They got to have so much drainage in this area. Everything has to collect in basically like a, basically like a big tube, if you will. And then it's got to flow out to the city's drainage system. On their perk test, it came back as 0.0 inches per hour. So basically it just didn't have any drainage at all. So everything has got to be held on site and then pushed into the city drainage. So if we were able to move that to somewhere else on the site, there still has to be piping that goes out right where that truck is down there. And so it still has to come through here. There's a possibility that could be air excavated and work around the roots and things like that. Trust me, we definitely explored that. We looked at that. Here's the other issue is there's a driveway that comes through here, not like a driveway, like a road where trucks and everything else have to be able to squeeze through here. So that's only a couple of feet behind where the drainage undercut had to go. And so the final grade of that road is a foot below where this grade is right now. And in order to get that final grade, the top of it, then there has to be another foot undercut below that, just so that they can get their base and they can get their rock and asphalt and everything else. So you're talking a 2-foot undercut, just a few more feet past that blue line away from the tree. And so we're still only about 6 feet away from the tree, and it just wasn't enough. So we still wound up with the same issue. Then you still got to get your grades right. You still got, ADA compliance, drainage, all sorts of things that come along with it. But we looked at humping this area up. When you do that, then that's going to put traffic right into these really big low limbs. We were able to keep them if they kept the height, where it was, and but cutting this whole side off of the tree would have been another issue. We'd have, decay as a result of that and all kind of other problems. So anyway, we've definitely tried what we could do. I wouldn't say it's all that we could do. I think we probably could have done something differently had we gotten involved sooner and really thought about it. And I'm not trying to throw the design team under the bus or anybody else. I mean, there's only so much space, on this site, and so there's only so much that can be done. But I like to think that we could have worked around this, but it was tough, really. I'm telling you, it was really tough. So I hate seeing a big tree go. We're not known as the tree removal, guys. We're really in here to help trees and keep them around and keep these big trees, here in Mobile and Baldwin County forever and ever. And so anytime something like this happens, I want to make sure that to explain what's happening and why, and make sure that everyone knows that every effort was explored, before this was decided for removal. We do have a permit from the city. They weren't excited about issuing the permit, but they understand, same issues that we have, and nobody's really willing to take on that risk of having that tree fail as a result of that. So that's pretty much it. If anybody's got questions on it, I'd love to hear some comments. I'd love to hear some feedback, some suggestions on what can be done, maybe other arborists, what you've done on other projects to work around. And I like to think that we did explore a lot of opportunities here, and nothing was really going to work. The other issue is there's going to be a sidewalk on the other side of this, so right over here, and we've already dealt with some issues on this property with ADA compliance. There's only so much slope that you can have on these driveways and sidewalks and things, because you don't want somebody getting on in a wheelchair and then just take off and race into traffic. And so all that was looked at, but all these grades have to match up. If we were really too high here, then we'd be flooding the building. Water would get trapped, couldn't get out. Somebody couldn't access in a wheelchair. There's all kind of things, and so we've got drainage issues that have to be thought about, ADA issues, certainly tree ordinance, tree protection. So there's a lot of different things. It's never easy. There's utilities, there's all kind of things that are underground, the drainage, that all that stuff has to work together. Now, the good thing is this site has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 big live oak trees you can see out there. Those are actually city trees, and we've been working to protect those trees. We've got tree protection fencing around it. Anytime anybody's in that tree protection zone, we've got an arborist on site that is working with them to make sure that they're not damaging those trees, and anything that has to be done is minimally invasive, working closely with the city right-of-way department, with the city arborists, the urban foresters. So, you know, there's a lot of things that are going on. The driveway was planned to come in between these two trees, and so we're able to move it to the left of where that trailer is, where that porta potty is. There's a few little water oaks and things over there that are going to come down and make room for the driveway, which is going to be a lot friendlier to the trees here, a lot less impact. And so we're trying to be, you know, the least impactful as possible. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I hate to see this thing go, and there's going to be some upset people about it, and I don't blame you. I'd be upset too. You know, I really want people to be invested in saving these trees and you know, keeping Mobile, you know, the way that it is with all these big, beautiful live oaks. So, thanks for taking the time to listen.